What is Aux Remap on the Behringer X32? Well, if you've ever been interested about learning a little bit more about the routing page and routing structure of the Behringer X32, then this series is for you because I have made a full YouTube short series basically all about the routing of your Behringer X32. Now, on your Behringer X32, if you hit routing and then go to your input block, Aux Remap used to be right here. It used to be called Aux Remap, but if you ever look on the Behringer X32 edit software, it still calls it Aux Remap. Aux In right here is the same thing as Aux Remap. Now, when it comes to Aux In, this is actually talking about the auxiliary channels that we have on our Behringer X32. So if we go to our Aux In layer, we have 6 aux channels. And so when we have this on Aux Ins, it's actually referring to these inputs right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and 6. So this is our 6 aux channel inputs. Now, one thing I do want to mention is 6 and 6, both of these, the TRS, which is a balanced input, as well as this RCA input, these share the same input. And you can actually put audio into both of these at the same time and it will hit your aux 6. Same thing goes with aux 5. So just keep that in mind that you can always plug in to both the RCA and the TRS, but the only thing I do need to mention is that the gain would be shared between these. Now, these are a TRS input, so that means that they can either be balanced in or unbalanced in. But this is not a stereo connector, so this is just one channel. Now, when we want to remap our inputs into our aux ins, we can select from all of these different inputs. So we have local, we have AES50A, we have AES50B, we have card, we also have user input. Now, if I go and select local 1 and 2, that means that it's going to be pulling in on channels 1 and 2 of my aux from the XLR inputs locally on the back of this console, input 1 and 2. But it's going to leave 3 through 6 coming from those aux inputs 3 through 6 on the back of the board. Now, if I go and select local 1 through 4, that means that local XLR input 1 through 4 is going to be on these 4 aux channels, and then leaving 5 and 6 to be on the TRS inputs still. And then if I select local 1 through 6, that means that these 6 channels are going to all be pulling from the local inputs 1 through 6. And then we have AES50A, same thing, 1, 2, 1 through 4, or 1 through 6 on the AES50A port. We also have our AES50B port. Now, card is our expansion card. So if you have the XUSB or the XLive, this would be the first 6 channels of that card. And we also have user input, which I'm going to be covering in a different video. Now, these aux channels are honestly a great way of expanding the capabilities of your mixer. You can leave your full processing channels that you need for, say, all of your band. And then anything that you don't really need much processing on, you can toss on these auxiliary channels because there is a little bit less processing on these channels than there are for the main. For instance, there is not a compressor or gate built into the auxiliary channels, but this is perfect for, say, a Spotify machine or a ProPresenter or a video playback, that sort of thing. So utilize these auxes, and that way you can leave all of the rest of your 32 channels available for your actual mixing.